Welcome back to another episode where we explore the Moog Model 15 iPad app. This time let's check out the tutorials. So if we go to Settings and then Manual, let's check out the Quick Start Guide. Alright, begin Quick Start. Tap any of the controller tabs to show or hide a controller. Alright. Swipe left from the edge to hide it. Drag two fingers to navigate around the panel. Pinch or spread two fingers to zoom in or out. Okay. Drag the navigation bar to scroll to any location. Tap the arrows to scroll through the presets in the bank. Tap the preset name to browse the presets. Select a bank to see what presets are available. Select a preset to load it. Tap the X to exit the browser. Okay, no problem. So that was pretty much just exploring the UI. Let's open the tutorials. All right, Signal Flow Part 1. There's only 2 tutorials, so that you don't get too far, but let's learn them anyways. This tutorial will teach you the basics of signal flow for a modular synthesizer and assist you in creating your first patch. Header bar is where we're going to talk about it. Okay. If you see instructions, expand it. Let's get to work. A modular synthesizer is a system comprised of discrete components, or modules. Each individual module does a specific job and is connected to other modules using patch cables. Press a key on the Module 15's keyboard. Notice there's no sound. See? No sound. Yay. That's because this is a blank patch. Nothing's wired up. To produce a sound, we need to create a patch cable that connects a sound source to one of the trunk lines. All right. Trunk lines 1 and 2 are the Module 15's audio outputs. A sound source must be connected to a trunk line for the Module 15 to produce sound. Scroll to the highlighted module to locate the trunk lines. There's the trunk line. The 921B oscillators are sound sources for the Module 15. Oscillators are always running, but no sound will be heard until we connect our sound source to the audio output of the trunk lines. Using the volume knob on the left side of the keyboard, reduce it to 50%. This might get loud. All right. So we can drag around this volume knob, put it at 50%. Double tap the rectangular output jack on the highlighted 921B oscillator, so the rectangular one, and you'll see a patch plug appear. This is the beginning of our first patch cable. To connect our patch cable to the trunk lines, double tap trunk line 1 input jack. Okay, there we go. So now we got the oscillator hooked up. We have sound. Use the volume knob on the left to adjust the sound to a comfortable level. It's pretty annoying, so we'll turn it down. And notice that pressing the key produces a change in pitch. But we have no control over the volume or articulation of our sound source. Double-click the end of the cable on the trunk line for rerouting. You will see the plug eject slightly from its jack. Double-click the signal input on the 902 voltage controller amplifier to reroute the cable. Alternatively, you could click and drag to reroute the cable. So we double-click there, and then we go up here, and then put it into the voltage control. Voltage-controlled amplifier. Once again, we have no sound. This is because we have broken the connection from the sound source to the trunk lines. To complete the signal path from the sound source to the audio output, click either of the 902 signal output jacks to drag a cable to the trunk line. All right. Turn up the fixed voltage control knob until you hear sound. There we go. Now we got voltage control. Now we can use the control. Now we can control the lower limit of our patch volume as well as pitch the oscillator, but still no control of articulation. Turn the voltage control back to 0. All right. To articulate individual notes, we must employ the 911's envelope generator. Connect a cable from the 911's jack to either of the 902's control outputs. Okay, so this is the envelope generator module. Let's make the keys smaller so I can see it. Press a key on the keyboard. Notice that our patch allows us to control the pitch as well as articulate individual notes. Yep. While tapping a keyboard, manipulate T1 and T3 knobs on the envelope module. So you can see T1 affects like how fast it ramps in. And T3 affects how long it decays for. Okay. As you increase the value of T1, hold the key down for a longer duration to hear the full effect. Congratulations, you completed your first modular synthesizer patch. All right. This is the end of the tutorial. Tap X to close it. Press the right arrow preset to continue to the next tutorial. All right, let's keep going. Not that one. How about the second tutorial? There we go. All right, this is the patch we built in tutorial 1. Our patch allows us to control the oscillator frequency, pitch, and articulates changes in amplitude volume. Adding a second sound source or oscillator will give our patch more complex and robust sound. Double-click the sine wave output of the 802, or the 921B oscillator, to create a cable by double-clicking on it. By double-clicking the lower of the two signal input jacks of the 902 module. Okay, so we're going to route it there. Okay. By adding a second oscillator, our patch now has two sound sources, each capable of producing its own sound. While tapping a keyboard, manipulate the frequency range. This doesn't look right. Just going to do that again. I think I accidentally disconnected the other one. All right, there we go. So now you can hear the two oscillators in unison. Manipulate the frequency and range knobs. Set the frequency of the first oscillator to 0 and the range knob, zoom it in, the range knob to 16. Okay. Set the frequency of the other one oscillator to 4 and the range knob to 8. Including a filter in our patch will allow us to further shape the timbre or tone of our sound. The 904A voltage-controlled low-pass filter will give our patch a classic Moog sound. Notice that the 904A filter only has one signal input jack. We need to combine the signals of both our oscillators before connecting the filter. Click and drag each of the 902 signal inputs down to the inputs of the mixer. We may need to scroll. All right, so we go here, and then we put it in the mixer. And then here, and then put that in the mixer. Okay. Double-click either of the positive outputs of the mixer, and then double-click the signal input of the filter. This is a 904 voltage-controlled low-pass filter. Playing a sound should produce no sound as the path is incomplete. Connect a cable from the signal output of the 904 to the signal input of the 902. Okay. Okay. Set the voltage control knob to 0. And regeneration knob to 5. All right. In tutorial 1, we learned that a 911 envelope generator can articulate the 902's amplifier. It can also be used to articulate the Module 15's filters. Connect a cable from 911's sole output jack to one of the control inputs of the 904. Okay, so now we have this envelope generator hooked up to the input of the filter. Great work. You've successfully completed another patch. We encourage you to apply the concepts of signal flow by patching in new modules and experimenting with their function. Sounds good. We'll do just that, but in the next episode. See you next time.